everyone, I'm Dr. Nathalie McLeod. Today we're going to go over some shoulder stretches. One thing I want you to keep in mind with this video is when we're stretching, we want to feel a nice stretch, but we don't want to go to 100% or max. So if you're feeling like you're shaking or it's painful, I want you to lay off just a little bit. If there's any poses that don't feel good, obviously don't do them. And the other thing to be aware is you may want a towel or a belt, because some of the stretches that we're going to be doing, if you can't clasp the hands, you may be able to get a better stretch with it. I hope you enjoy this video and it gives you some looser shoulders. Today we're going to start in a seated position, either on your mat or you can do this on a chair if you like. We're going to start with a few deep breaths in and out. You can have your right or left foot in front, it doesn't matter. Taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Do that 2 more times, in through the nose and out through the nose. And last time, in through the nose and out through the nose. We're going to start with some shoulder shrugs. So shoulders up to the ears and then all the way back down. And really think about engaging your shoulder blades on your back. So when you're rolling up, almost roll the shoulders slightly back and down, keeping the shoulder blades along the rib cage. And again, in and out, exhale. 2 more times, in and out. We're going to do some shoulder rolls. So you can put the hands out to the side or you can keep them on your lap and you're going to roll forward. Remembering to breathe through all the exercises, just warming up the shoulders here. If this is too difficult, you could stand up and bring your arm almost down and around. That's fine too. And we're going to go in the opposite direction. Remember to really think about rolling those shoulders, warming up the area, getting some blood flow to it. Taking deep breaths in and out and relaxing them down. We're going to stretch through the front of the chest. So you can bring your hands out to the side, thumbs back, and try to bring the thumbs together, stretching backwards. Or you may, if you have the flexibility, and depending how your shoulders feel, clasp the hands together behind the back and stretch out through the front. You may even want to tilt the head back just a little bit to get a little bit of a neck stretch in there too. Taking a deep breath in and out. Another deep breath in and out. If you can get the arms away, we're going to bend forward and stretch through that area too. You might even feel a little bit of a low back stretch on that. I know some people who are so flexible they can get their arms almost to their head. It just depends where you're at. Taking a deep breath in again. And out. So in our seated position here, we're going to take one arm overhead. So taking your right hand overhead and tilting towards your left. Feeling that side stretch and a little bit in the shoulder. Making sure that your arm is over the head in the ear area and keeping this nice and open. So think about getting that right shoulder back. Taking a deep breath in and out, and really make sure that both hips are on the ground or on a chair if you're seated. And another deep breath in and out. Okay, coming back up, we're going to do the other side. So coming on over to your right side. Left arm overhead, breathing in and out. Really keep those hip bones on the ground, distributing that weight. You don't want to be coming up over like this. Another deep breath in and out. A few more seconds. Really get that left shoulder back in line with the body. And remember, when you're breathing in, you elongate, and on the exhale is when you can try to go a little bit deeper on the stretch. Okay, coming back up. I'm going to start with the left arm over the body, And remembering where you are in terms of flexibility. You want to keep that shoulder down. You might even be here and feel the stretch, or you can bring it all the way across the shoulder, avoiding the shoulder riding up and bringing it back down. Holding the stretch in this position, remembering to breathe. And again. And on that exhale is where you can stretch it a little bit further if it feels comfortable. And again. And exhale. Bringing that arm down and bringing the other arm across. Now you want to be mindful of the elbow too, so bringing the shoulder down and placing your hand either above or below the elbow. Bring it across the body. And you'll feel a lot of times one side obviously tighter than the other, or if you do have some shoulder pain or issues right now, then obviously it might feel more painful or a little bit tighter on one side. I want you to make sure that if it is painful, avoid the stretch. And again, deep breath in and out. A few more seconds. And relaxing the hand down. Okay, we're gonna bring your left arm up and over for a tricep stretch. Trying to keep that elbow in towards the head and the elbow straight up towards the ceiling. Remembering to breathe deep, elongate that spine on the breath in, and on the exhale you can see you can go a little bit deeper into the stretch. Now we've been warming up the shoulders, stretching out a little bit through the shoulders. The next stretch is going to be a little bit more difficult, and you may want to get that belt or towel ready. So switching to the other side. Remembering to breathe, both hip bones into the floor or the chair. And relaxing the hand down. Okay, if you need a belt or your towel, you want to bring one arm, which is your left arm, overhead, and your right arm behind. So what it's going to look like, and it's actually called cow face arms, is that you're going to put one arm over, in this case it's my right hand, and then left hand. And you're trying to get them together so you can stretch them out. If you can't, you can use a belt. And really feel that stretch and pulling and trying to get the hands as close to possible. Now with this stretch, because I'm going to start facing you again, when you're holding it, you want to make sure that you're still head up, straight spine. So if you're starting to do something like this just to try to get into the pose, it's not worth it. It's not going to do what it needs to. So you want to make sure that you're sitting up straight, you're able to breathe through the entire thing, you're not shaking and it's not painful. So breathing in and out, holding it a few more seconds, and out. Relaxing, and we're going to do the other side. Now, my other side obviously is tighter, so I want to use this belt, and you'll feel that one side tighter than the other with this as well. And holding the stretch, remember sitting up straight. On the exhale, you're trying to bring those hands a little bit closer together. A few more seconds. One more breath. And on the exhale, letting go. So, put the belt or the towel that you use to the side. And we're actually going to come into child's pose. So if you're sitting on a chair, you may want to move down to the floor now. And what we're going to do is we're going to get onto, there's two stretches here. If you want a little bit more of a stretch in the hips, you can bring the knees hip width apart or mat width apart and feet or toes together. If you want more of a low back stretch with the shoulder stretch, you can keep the knees together. And bringing the arms out, you're going to try to sit back with your butt coming as close to your heels as possible, and bringing your chin or your forehead towards the mat. Now, thinking on the inhale, on the exhale, you really want to try to feel that stretch in the lower back and all the way down, or a little bit more on the hips if your knees are apart. Holding the stretch, breathing in and out. Now we're going to do thread the needle. So you're going to take your left hand and thread it underneath the right. Now if you're in with your knees together, you want to spread your knees apart, and you're going to bring your left ear down towards the mat and look underneath your right armpit. Remembering to breathe. You will feel a little bit of a stretch into the lower back with this as well. And one more deep breath in and out. And switching to the other side. So you're going to bring your right arm underneath your left, right ear towards the ground, and look underneath your left armpit. Breathing in and out. Remembering to really feel your butt towards your heels. One more breath. Deep breath in. And all the way out. Coming back into child's pose, you're going to bring your knees in towards tabletop and your elbows down, making sure your shoulder is over your elbows. And you're going to come into what's called Dolphin Pose, okay? If this feels okay, you can just stretch it back. You can bring your head down if you want to do a little bit of extended puppy pose. But what we're going to do is bring the legs all the way up if you're able to do it. And bring the legs in a little bit. Sorry, my sweater got in the way. And what you're doing here is stretching the shoulders, but also strengthening them, which is important. And we're going to hold this for 3 breaths. Really think about getting the hips up towards the ceiling and bringing those shoulder blades onto the back. And one more breath in and out and all the way back down and into child's pose. And then coming back up into seated pose. Just an easy seat. And taking a few deep breaths in and out, and bringing the attention to your shoulders and just feeling if there's any stretches, any of the stretches that we did, something else on your mind that you really just want to stretch it out and neutralize your body, go right ahead. And just feeling how much softer it feels in the shoulders and even the upper back area. I hope you enjoyed the stretching, and I hope you enjoy your day.